Okay, let's try and map it out. I'll give you my take on what way
Yeah.
it should go. I know everybody's doing this theorizing as to what way the lightweight title fight should play out. So I'll give you yours, then you give me mine,
Yeah.
and we'll see what we think of them. I want Dustin Poirier against Charles Oliveira for the lightweight title straight off the bat. I want Michael Chandler v Justin Gaethje, and I want Conor McGregor in a trilogy fight against Nate Diaz in 6 months' time when he's recovered from the knockout loss to Poirier. I think that's the right way to go with McGregor because right now I don't think you can put him in that lightweight title picture, but a win over Diaz might put him back in there. Who knows how that fight will go? But how do you see the top of the division playing out there now?
I agree with you. I think that's exactly what I'd like to see, but I'm not sure it's going to happen. You know, Conor McGregor talked about after the fight, you know, being inactive and how much of an issue that was for him. And, you know, the problem here is, does he jump straight back into a Nate Diaz fight and have a performance similar to that? You know, are the UFC going to book him against guys sort of top five outside the top five in the division? No. They're not going to book him as frequently as he wants because they're going to have to pay him a shitload of money. So see, that to be a massive issue. So I'm not sure Conor McGregor, and, you know, confidence seemed to be a big issue. We talked about it on, you know, off air there a few minutes ago. He just didn't even look the same coming into the octagon on Saturday night, and that was a worry straight away for me. So I think Conor's going to want to be a bit more active, like, you know, guys like Justin Gaethje, stuff like that, before he takes one of those fights, if he is serious about putting this momentum and run together in the lightweight division. And I just think it's too much of a risk. If he goes in, fights Nate Diaz, loses, which, like, on the last performance, you know, as we saw against Dustin Poirier, I think, you know, Nate probably might go in favour to that fight. So I think it's a big, big risk. I'm not sure the UFC are going to be willing to play ball with Conor McGregor. So I think that we're going to have a lot of negotiation wranglings here, Petesy, to be honest, you're coming up. But I do agree with you. I think they're the fights I would love to see, but I'm still not sure whether Dustin's going to jump on board and be cool with that when there's massive money fights outside of the lightweight title.
Yeah, that's a good point you've made there about the UFC in terms of will they play ball. The paycheck McGregor commands is far bigger than anything else they have there. And right now, a lot of people are interested in all these other guys. You know, you can't go in and lose a fight like that and not take a knock in terms of stock, in terms of, you know, general interest in the fighter. But let's have a listen to what Conor had to say after the fact about his loss, taking the licks and making adjustments.
Yeah, you know, I'll certainly regroup. I'll regroup and pick myself up, you know what I mean? Get up off the floor and go again, and that's it. Styles make fights. There's many great stylistic matchups out there. Myself and Dustin are 1-1. Myself and Nate are 1-1. You know, there's many good matchups for me, and I'll adopt a different approach for the trilogy, I feel, with Dustin, because, you know, that those leg kicks are not to be messed with, you know what I mean? That calf kick, the low calf kick, I've never experienced that, and it was a good one. So it's not that I haven't got the style in me to switch it up and keep that at bay. And I've a lot more weapons. I didn't get the show. It wasn't my night. Wasn't a great night, but again, no excuses. Hats off, and, you know, regroup and pick myself up. I look forward to going back now, seeing the kids, and just taking the licks, man. It's a bastard of a game. It is what it is. I there's not a mark on my face. I wasn't rattled with anything. It's just I had no leg, and fair fucking play to him. He fought well, and
that's it. Yeah,
I disagree that he wasn't rattled because I think, you know, the fight ending sequence was all due to shots to the head, and I get his leg wasn't there, but, you know, I don't agree with that. Obviously, Conor knows better than me being in there, but I feel like, you know, he deserves a lot of praise for coming out and speaking as he did against Nate Diaz from that first initial defeat. It's good to hear that he has his head screwed on, that he's aware of what led to the defeat, and the calf kicks certainly did. That was masterful from Poirier.
Yeah.
I guess it's just for me, right? So the Cerrone fight, I didn't really have a lot of interest in it because I thought Conor could beat Cerrone. I thought any version of Conor over the years could beat Cerrone. I think his camp went brilliantly. I had a lot of confidence in Conor, probably the most confident I'd been in him since Eddie Alvarez. For me, this fight was all about, can he still be in there and compete with the best in the world? He competed very well for one round, and then he got found out. So I guess what we found out from this fight is that Conor still isn't the coachese of a division. He still isn't the best guy outside of Khabib Nurmagomedov, who is now retired. Dustin Poirier is. But, I mean,
that's the way you look.
It's going to be like, yeah, you know, Dana White's quote. What do you mean? Oh, in terms of him not being the top, there's no way you can't possibly. Like, I mean, after the fight, I think that, like, he's talked about the adjustments. He definitely needs to make adjustments. And when you look at that top cluster there, Oliveira, Chandler, all those guys, and Poirier, like, you couldn't back Conor.
I think there's
couldn't back Conor ahead of those guys.
No, I think there's 3-4 guys that beat him in the division at the moment, based on what we've seen over the last 2 fights. And you know, I don't think that's wide of the mark. You know, there's other guys with weapons in there, very much like what Dustin Poirier has in terms of the way they fight. You know,
he's even better leg kicker. You know,
yeah. You know, how many guys are really brutal leg kickers in that division? There's a lot of them, man. So yeah, I think Conor's 4th, 5th, 6th on the list at the moment, and that's just being realistic.
Hello, guys. If you want to hear more of The Bash, you can subscribe to us on all our wonderful channels on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and all that other shit.
And click the links below. Click the links below, the notification button. It comes straight to your phone if we've any fresh content. And also hit the subscribe button. It does help. You're some plonker.
It's very serious.